Hey everybody, welcome to week 27, starting the back half of the first year. Up first, we've got, this is a redo of the first shot I ever posted, so if you've seen that, you kind of know what's going on already. So, this is a styrofoam cave that I built. I was recreating the original mini comic scene where Green Goddess is offering He-Man all of his weapons and stuff. I added like a light up here and a cloud in the back, and then there's like a little bit more dynamic lighting on this. Some of the greens reflecting onto his arm a little bit from here, but what can you do? All in all, I like the shot. It's a lot less flat than the original version. I think you can see a little bit more of the detail on this stuff when it's not as washed out. Like, this is just like packing styrofoam. Again, these boots were just Origin's feet. It's just a little plastic sword I had, and I wrapped a rubber band around it to give it like the leather strap that it had, and Hot Wheels in the back to kind of have a perspective, or they're further away. All in all, I still really like the shot. I think this is a better version of it, although in the first version I had her turn towards him a little bit better. I kind of wish I had done that on this one, but kind of odd to finagle her head in that armor sometimes, so I couldn't get it exactly how I wanted it. But nevertheless, thought it came out cool. I enjoyed it, and it's a good way to start the second half of the year. Up next, this is that Dungeons & Dragons gelatinous cube. I thought it would be cool to have Adam in there reaching for the power sword. I think it's on my Jungle Dio. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on in the background of it, honestly, because it kind of, skews or obscures the view. But it's a cool shot. I really like this toy. Like, super fun. Comes with a bunch of accessories. You can see one of them floating over here. And it's got like a little hole here so you can have him like reaching out. You can see there's a little bit of wire here. Like he's grabbing the sword. I didn't want it completely in his hand. So yeah, there's that shot. I dig it. We're moving on to the next one. This one's a pretty basic shot. Got the extreme set in the background. You got the Sorceress Lyn from Revelations. I think this shot turned out pretty well. It's one of the first times I used the extreme set where I feel like it looks like she's somewhere. You got light coming through the cage. This light over here is a little bit weird, but she looks good, and I don't have too much, like, there's a little bit of light reflecting here, but all in all, I think the shot came out pretty good. Yeah, so there's that shot. So this week, Toy Mercs was doing a Toy Mercs takeover. So you post in black and white on the page they're taking over, or on the, you collaborate with people they were taking over, which was Geeked Out Click in this case. And then collaborate with them, post the original on Toy Mercs. So this is just a black and white version of the last picture. You'll see that a couple times this week because they did a couple different collaborations. Up next, this is Ghostbusters Bust and Scareglow, again on the extreme set. A little bit weird, like the black up here kind of makes it look like it's in shadow, but it's just the top of a shelf up there. He's on a flight stand. You can see a little bit of the plastic down here. And then underneath him, you can kind of see in between Egon's legs there's like the black thing is actually a black light flashlight set up underneath him. Yeah, so there's that shot. I actually really dig this shot. Thought it came out kind of cool. To get all four of them in was a little awkward, but I think it works pretty well. And up next, another black and white shot. So this is the Nordor playset, and then this is the New Eternia, or not New Eternia, New Adventure He-Man that they did in Origins in the 4-pack. and he's standing on top of the Buzz Lightyear playset. There's like a little satellite dish. Let me bring up the colored version. So yeah, there's Nordor. I put a light in to kind of. It's actually a strip of lights wrapped around the middle of it to kind of give it like a lighting up effect. The background is another one of those space tapestries, and just you can't see it, but like right where he's at, there's a tripod that's plugged in. There's like a little hole on the bottom of that playset, and it's just kind of plugged in there, so it looks like it's floating out in space. I thought this was a really cool shot. I really like this playset. It's kind of hard to work into photos, but anytime I can, I'm happy to do so. I have a few good shots with it, and I like this one. Not really much, it's just kind of him seeing Nordor from the top of the little satellite tower on the Buzz Lightyear playset. Up next, another black and white. This one came out pretty cool. I wish the focus was a little bit better. I think it's trying to fight between the horse's face and Alithia's face. The color version here. This is another tapestry I have. I don't use quite as much. It's actually, this is my Mythic Legion shelf. And it's set up where there's like a big portal in the background and then some plant stuff around it. And you'll see a few shots on that shelf. But I don't use this tapestry as much in the photography because it is part of that shelf. And that shelf is full of mostly Mythic Legions, and then like I think I have Warduke from the NECA Dungeons Dragons and a couple other random fantasy characters that fit with the Legions. So the idea is Mythos is invading Eternia, because at this point in my collection it's basically Eternia is the land that I'm like creating, so I thought it'd be cool to have like a portal where these other characters are coming in. Speaking of Warduke, here's Warduke. He's on the Jungle Dio. Some random little plants in the back, tapestry, some of those grass plates, the Battle Mountain. Not sure what's up above him, but it looks like there's another toy on the shelf up there. Yeah, I just took a picture of him. Warduke is a super cool toy. I love this version of him. Yeah, I like how the lighting turned out. I'm really happy with that Jungle Dio, and it's all like dollar store finds and like cheap stuff thrown together. Like the tapestries, I got a bunch off AliExpress for like a couple bucks a piece. Bought enough to where it was free shipping, and I had a little bit of variation. Battle Mountains are a little more expensive, but like these little plastic rocks and these little plants, like they're super cheap. And you can just kind of arrange them in different ways. Like he's got some plants coming up the mountain over here. There's some plants in the background here. I just really like the effect. And the light coming in on here, also shining on his head, and lighting up the flame effect for the sword. I think it's really cool. And then we're moving on again. This isn't anything too fancy. I'm just showing off that I picked up the Hot Wheels Thanoscopter because of course I did, right? Like why wouldn't I? Anytime they make a toy of the Thanoscopter, I get it. And I even have a couple that I'm going to be customizing at some point. I'll show those off when I do. Okay. Up next is another shot of Anti-Eternia He-Man in front of Hellskull. This time he's decapitated He-Man, and actually I do this a couple of times, and one of the shots coming up is really, really good. It's one of my favorite shots I've ever taken. This one's, Castle looks great in the background, though. Like, I love that thing. Put a lot of work into it. And, you know, it's got, like, its flaws. Like, the hair's got some cracks and stuff, because the clay I used, I would not use again. But, you know, you live, you learn, you make stuff, you learn along the way, and then the next time you do it, it'll be better. I do plan on eventually making a larger scale Castle Hellskull, but, I need to get my crafting area in order, and when I do that, I want to actually shoot making it step by step, so that'll be fun. It'll be an interesting new experience. And then black and white version. Anytime Toy Mercs was doing the takeover, I saw it as an opportunity to get the Hell Skull to a wider audience. So obviously, I'm going to do a Anti-Eternia, He-Man, and Hell Skull shot on those weeks. Up next, St. Patrick's Day shot. This little paper hat that I taped onto Gwildor's head. Little dollar store pot with some gold coins, and this is a little rainbow eraser. You've seen before, actually. It's usually behind Adam's head in the Space Ghost setup that I have. Again, it's on the Jungle Dio. You can see the little treehouse in the back, Battle Mountain, some aquarium rock, some random plants. So, yeah, not a super fancy shot, but I wanted to do something for St. Patrick's Day. So I don't have a leprechaun. He was the closest I got. And then there's some green light kind of shining on to add a little more green. And then this is going to be the last shot of the week. This, again, is on the Jungle Dio. He-Man versus a Hydralisk. Again, tapestries and plants in the back. There's some random stuff in the back. You got the Dragon Ball characters kind of just chilling on the top of the mountain. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. That was a brutal hit this week. I've always been a huge Dragon Ball fan. Yeah, that was sad. And then there's like a little Final Faction bug monster in the back. There's some plants. These are those little feet stones again, because I wanted to prop the Hydralisk up a little bit because it's a decent amount shorter than the Origins figures, and I wanted him kind of almost face to face. If you don't know what Hydralisk is, it's from StarCraft. I'm a huge Blizzard fan, so like Warcraft, StarCraft, those two franchises are my jam. They didn't make a lot of toys for these guys, but I love the Zerg and the Protoss. Their designs are just so killer. And love to see some new toys from StarCraft. Warcraft's getting a lot of love in the independents. StarCraft, not so much. But maybe one of these days. And then, yeah, there's not really much to this shot. This whole week was pretty straightforward. But thank you guys for stopping in. If you like it, comment, subscribe. If you don't like it, dislike, comment, subscribe. And welcome to the second half of my first year of toy photography. Alright, check me out on Instagram, post every day, and I'm on YouTube every weekend. Have a good day, everybody. I will see you later.